Let me turn now to Anthony Clark Arend. He's a professor of government and foreign service at Georgetown University. He's joining me from the campus studio here in Washington. Professor, welcome to the program. Formation of this grand jury is clearly a big deal. Does it essentially confirm that Bob Mueller believes there is sufficient evidence a crime has been committed?
Well, I think Mueller's perception is that he has enough evidence to bring it to the grand jury. Now, he's not prejudging what the grand jury will do, but I regard it as extraordinarily serious and very important that he feels that it's reached this point. So we can't automatically say that a crime has occurred and an indictment will be forthcoming, but Mueller's a very serious, universally respected person. So this indicates to me that there is a lot of evidence out there that point to the likelihood that a crime has been committed.
And what will you specifically be looking for in the days on ahead? And how long do you think, Professor, this process is going to take?
Well, it's very difficult to say how long the process will take. It could take a matter of weeks. It could take a matter of months. Indeed, the grand jury could be impaneled for a year or more. It depends on the nature of the evidence that's being presented to it. And I'm certain that Mueller wants to make sure that he has all his ducks in a row, that the evidence is presented in an organized and efficient manner. So it may very well take a long while before there's any decision forthcoming from the grand jury.
Now, grand juries, we both know, meet in secret, but those who receive the subpoena and testify under oath, they can actually share information once they come out of that grand jury room. So we may or may not learn what went on depending on what they decide to share with the media.
That is entirely possible. Now, if I were the attorney for anyone testifying before a grand jury, I would encourage that person not to say anything about the experience before a grand jury. But as you indicate, it's entirely possible that someone will disclose some of the information that they presented to the grand jury.
Professor, I'm going to put you on the spot here and ask you whether you believe this grand jury investigation will result in someone getting indicted.
I do. Now, I say this not based on any kind of inside information or knowledge of something that only Mueller knows, but rather the way in which things have played themselves out. It seems to me that initially we were told nothing happened. Then, as more information is presented, we're told about meetings that took place. We're told about conversations that occurred. It seems to me there's so much that is coming out that it likely indicates that more will come out. And I go back to what I said earlier. Mueller is a very respected person. He would not toy with the idea of impaneling a grand jury. So my sense is the likelihood is that someone will be indicted for some type of criminal activity. Now, it can't really be the president, because the only way you can do that is after a president has been impeached. But there may be information coming out about the president. If we recall, Richard Nixon was an unindicted co-conspirator. So you could have information like that coming out about the president. So I don't want to prejudge that, but I do think an indictment for someone or some groups will result from the grand jury in this case. Again, I could be completely wrong, but that's my sense.
And let me move on to Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Today, he promised a big crackdown on leaks coming out of the government. Now, critics would argue if it wasn't for these leaks, we really wouldn't know what's going on inside this White House.
Well, that's certainly true, but let me say I'm extraordinarily opposed to the leaks. I think the leaks are a very, very bad thing for U.S. foreign policy and indeed for the respect of the United States globally. When a world leader has a conversation with the president, he or she has the reasonable expectation that that will not be disclosed. I think the leaks produce a tremendous chilling effect. Foreign leaders are not going to want to talk to the president. They're not going to want to disclose intelligence material to the president, and this is going to hurt the reputation of the United States and indeed our ability to conduct foreign policy. So I think the leaks are very bad. It's true, we might not in the public know of this information at this point in time, and we can say that that's a beneficial aspect to the leaks. But on a whole, I think the leaks are very damaging to U.S. foreign policy.
Understood. We'll have to leave it there. Professor Anthony Clark Arend, thank you so much, sir.